I found out in January of 2022 that I was pregnant. And initially it was a shock because me and my husband been married for 12 years. And we had been trying for those full 12 years almost, and not once had it ever happened. And finally it did. And we were super excited. June 28th is the day that she was born. That I remember like it was yesterday. I was trying my best to hold on. There was something deep inside of me. It was like, okay, you've been praying for this baby. You've been trying for this baby for so long. You can't give up. And I didn't give up. When she was born at 27 weeks and 3 days, we thought initially that everything was going to be perfect. For the first 7 days of life, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Yeah, everything was going well. She was getting ready to be, taken off of the breathing tube that was in her mouth. 7 days later, there was something that happened. I don't know what happened, just something happened. And she could not breathe, and they call it bronchopulmonary dysplasia, BPD. They're like, she should be okay for a little bit, it's just going to take some time. We made it through that part, and literally like every day after those first 7 days of her life, we watched them bag her literally every day of her life, all the way up until about maybe 5 months of it, until she was able to get trached. The day that she got trached, she did well initially. We thought everything was going to be perfect. This is December now. We're in December. She's born in June, and now we're in December. December 21st was another change. Cardiac arrest later on that night. And him and my husband stood there praying and asking God to, just keep her. And I remember seeing them just through the chest compressions and over and over and over, and it took them about 15 minutes. Whenever they finally let us in the room later on that night, the doctors chose to put her on ECMO, which is the last life-saving. Like, there's nothing else left. I'm sorry, we can't do anything else for you. It was the week of Christmas. Here we are, the week of Christmas, another brand holiday, or something that you just think you're supposed to be happy. You're supposed to be jolly. Easter, you're supposed to be happy, you're supposed to be jolly. And then you have the 4th of July, and all these holidays were just rolling past us, and there was no happiness, no joy. But Christmas came, and we were still sitting in the PICU, still looking at her. They had her paralyzed. A few days later, we were in there, and she had a pulmonary hemorrhage. And now they're pumping blood out of her lungs. And she had pneumonia on top of this pulmonary hemorrhage while we're in ECMO. We're to the point now they're like, call your family in. Call your family in and tell them we got to take her off, and this is probably going to be it for you. I remember going home that night and just like crying my eyes, me and my husband just like crying. And I began to pray, and I'm like, God, if you never do anything else for me, please save my baby. And they took her off of the ECMO, and then a miracle happened. She opened up her eyes, and family were there, and we made it back to the NICU. She began to thrive a little bit long. We were still on, all kinds of heavy sedation and stuff. But she opened up her eyes, and then she started smiling and doing all the little things that, even though she's delayed a little bit, a lot, because she slept for the majority of her life. We finally had a chance to celebrate her first birthday. June 24th, we celebrated on a Saturday because we wanted to make sure all of her primary nurses and everybody who was on our team was able to be here, to help us celebrate. We had this big grand celebration. On June 28th, we finally had a chance to go outside for the first time. Now we're into getting close to going home. Hopefully, we're to that point where We're on home vent settings. We're on a home ventilator. We're going to have people come out to our home and deliver different things and stuff for her to be able to come home soon. Our care team consists of wonderful people. We had 2 people who joined our team initially, just head on, just knowing, the entire situation. And they've been there every literally step of the way. And I'm so grateful for the entire team. We just had a long 14-month stage journey of a lot of downs, but I'm so grateful for the ups.